Hello everyone, I am Irfan Ashari. I am from English Education F. A Serious Case by Chris Rose. I have a friend who is afraid of spiders. This isn't very unusual. A lot of people are afraid of spiders. I don't really like spiders but myself. I don't mind them if I see them outside in the garden, as long as they are not too big. But if one comes in the house, especially if it's one of those really big spiders with furry legs and little red eyes, then I go and I try to get rid of it. Usually, I'll use a brush to get rid of the spiders. But if I feel brave, then I'll put a glass over the top of it, set a piece of paper under the glass and then take it outside. This is quite normal, I think, but my friend is afraid of spiders and in any normal way. She isn't just afraid of spiders, she is totally, completely and utterly terrified of them. When my friend sees a spider, she doesn't just go, ugh, or run away or ask someone else to get rid of the horrible creepy Rolly. No, she screams as loud as she possibly can. She screams so loud that her neighbors worry about her and think about calling the police. When she sees a spider, she shivers all over and sometimes she freezes completely. She can move it all because she is so terrified. Sometimes she even faints. But my friend had a surprise for me when we met for coffee last week. Guess what? She asked me. What? I said. I've got a new pet. Great, I said. What is it? A dog? A cat? No. A budgie? No. A rabbit? No. What then? I've got a pet spiders. I don't believe you. It's true. I decided that it was time I did something about my phobia. So I went to visit a doctor, a special doctor, a scientist, the science specialist in phobias, helping people who have irrational fears to get better and live normally. He told me I suffered from arachnophobia. It's an irrational fear of spider. He said about 150 people suffer from a severe form of arachnophobia. It's not very uncommon. Thanks, said my friend, but it doesn't help me much. There are a lot of different ways we can try to cure for your phobia, said the psychiatrist. First, there is traditional analysis. What does that mean? Asked my friend. This means a lot of talking. We say find out exactly why you have such a terrible fear of spiders. Perhaps it's linked to something that happened to you when you were a child. Oh dear, said my friend. That sounds quite worrying. It can take a long time, said the scientist. Years sometimes, and you can never be certain that it will be successfully. Are there any other methods? Yes, some scientists use hypnosis along with traditional analysis. My friend didn't like the idea of being hypnotized. I'm worried about what things will come out of my subconscious mind. She said, are there any other method? Well, said the scientist, there is what we call the behavior approach. What the behavior approach? Asked my friend. Well, said the scientist, it's like this. The scientist get out a small spider from his desk. It wasn't a real spider. It was made of plastic. Even though it was only a plastic spider, my friend screamed when she saw it. Don't worry, said the scientist. It's not a real spider. I know, said my friend, but I'm afraid of it just the same. Said the scientist. A serious case. He put the plastic spider on the desk. When my friend stopped screaming, the scientist thought her touched it. When she stopped screaming again, the idea of touching the plastic spider was enough to make her scream. She touched it. At first, she touched it for just 1 second. She shivered all over, but at least she managed to touch it. Okay, said the scientist. That's all for today. Thanks, you can go home tomorrow. Go home now. That's it, asked my friend. Yes, that's all. Yes, for today. This is behavioral approach. Come back tomorrow. My friend went back the next day, and this time the plastic spider was already on the doctor's desk. This time he touched it and held it for 5 minutes. Then the doctor told her to go home and come back the next day. The next day, she went back and the plastic spider was on her chair. She had to move the spider so she could sit down. The next day, she had the spider in her hand while she sat in the chair. The next day, the doctor gave her the plastic spider and told her to take it home with her. Where the spider appear in your house, asked the scientist. In the bath, usually, said my friend. Put the spider in the bath, he told her. My friend, who was terrified of the spider in the bath, but managed not to scream when she saw it there. It's only plastic spider, she thought herself. The next day, the scientist told her to put the spider in her living room. My friend put it on top of the television. At first, she thought the spider was watching her and she felt afraid. Then she told herself that it was only plastic spider. The next day, the scientist told her to put the spider in her bed. No way, she said, absolutely no. Why not? Asked the scientist. It's a spider, replied my friend. No, it's not, said the scientist. It's a plastic spider. It's not a real one. My friend realized that her doctor was right. She put the plastic spider in her bed and she slept there all night with it in her bed. She only felt a little bit afraid. The next day, she went back to the scientist. This time, she had a shock, a big shock. Sitting in the middle of the doctor desk there was a spider, and this time, it was a real spider. My friend was about to scream and run away, but she didn't. She sat on the other side of the room, as far away as possible from the spider, for about 5 minutes. Then she got up and left the room. See you tomorrow, shouted the scientist to her as she left. The next day, she went back. And this time the scientist let her spider run around on his desk again. My friend stayed about 5 minutes. They left. The next day she stayed for 10 minutes. And the day after that 15. Eventually the scientist held the spider, the real spider with long furry legs and little eyes, in his hand. He asked my friend to come and touch it. At first, she refused, but the doctor insisted. Eventually, she touched the spider just for a second. The next day, she touched it for a few seconds, then for a few minutes, and after that, she held the spider in her own hand. Then she took the spider home and let it run around in her house. She didn't feel afraid. Well, okay, she didn't. She did feel afraid, but only a tiny bit. So now I've got a pet spider. She told me again. Well done, I said. There's only one problem, she said, and as she spoke, I noticed that she was shivering all over. Then she screamed and climbed on the chair. She was pointing to something on the floor. Over there, she screamed, "Who is a beetle?"